Did it work?
I think it worked. I think it worked.
Against all odds, Thomas, everybody, how are you doing tonight? Wonderful, wonderful to be here with you all. Happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday. I'm good. You know, it's funny. You had obligations for the day. And so we pushed the podcast, 30 minutes out. And so this evening after work, I'm doing my chores and other to-do stuff and kind of hanging out because I have plenty of time. And I'm in the garage kind of goofing around with my motorcycle, doing some stuff that came in the mail. And I went, I'm late. I'm late. We have extra time and I'm late. So it's my fault trying to get online and help get situated. But
you text me at 8:05. You're like, so is this going tonight? Are we going forward? We got 20 minutes. And I had just barely walked in the door from the parade, which was a hit. I'll say I actually loved live streaming the parade. It's had a lot of good feedback from people who, shut-ins is what we call them, people that can't leave the home.
Yeah.
And that want to participate. And I just had a blast. Hundreds and hundreds of people viewed it and watched the parade. It was about an hour or so long. Loads of it's like your house, but on a car. That's what the parade is. Like all lights and inflatables and everything you can possibly imagine just on a car or a fire truck or an electric truck or something. So
fair enough. That's fun. So what platform did it stream to? And do you want to go back to watch where it streamed and comments or feedback, or were you kind of watching it as you streamed it? How did that work out for you on that side?
It went to Facebook. It went to the Aden, North Carolina What's Happening Facebook group.
Okay.
And it posted under Sarah Coltrane's account because even though I'm an admin there, I couldn't get it to allow me to live stream. So I had her log in real quick on my computer, like 2 minutes before we're ready to go live. So I'm like, look, I know they'll work. Just type your password. I'll go as you. And so it worked. So
cool.
And then she had to run because she was actually on one of the floats.
So is that the lady who's got the
hardware store and cows and all that?
Yeah. Okay, cool. So she kind of orchestrated it, called you in for help to get it going, or how did that all come about?
It's funny because in my town in Aden, we have it's an old town, right? And it needs revitalization. And there's a big push to try to bring businesses back to Main Street and everything like that. Yeah. And this Sarah lady is amazing at that. She's like a networker. She knows everybody. And she's an entrepreneur. She started businesses. She's running several businesses. She's got her finger in every pie, and she's doing excellent at everything. Cool. But she doesn't even live in our town boundaries, so she can't even vote in our elections.
Oh wow!
But she owns a company in town.
Okay.
And she owns the hardware store. And anyway, so she's always working with the Chamber of Commerce and things like that. And they reached out to me and said, "Hey, can you help us with the live streaming?" And I said yes. And then as soon as I said that, they started posting. They're like, "First year ever, professional live stream of the parade." I'm like, whoa. I never said anything about professional. I just said, well. But it turned out really well. So it was.
That's awesome. That is so cool. I'd love to see it. We've got Scott. You're the name expert here, so I'm going to let you pronounce that name.
Giuseppe.
There we go. Perfect. With a 199 euro super sticker. Thank you so much for that. That's awesome. Cheers with a Mountain Dew. Incredible support right out the gate. So thank you everyone for joining us on a later Thursday night. I'm going to throw this out there right now before we get too far into it. So next week I have a conflict. So it's my fault that I've got issues. Thursday and Friday evening, I have obligations. So we are going to take this podcast and bump it to Wednesday next week.
Pretty soon we're going to be kicking off your weekend Monday evening.
No kidding.
Move right to the beginning of the week and just let you party all week long.
All week. Don't go to work. Don't get there. But so next week, 8 p.m. Eastern time on Wednesday will be this podcast. After that, besides the whole Christmas week that'll come after that, or other holidays that you celebrate, that'll be another change up. But hopefully we'll have a couple weeks in the mix there where we won't be affected. So just to let everyone know that wants to be a part of that. And yeah, exactly. Sorry, we overlap each other.
Hump
but yeah,
day.
Kate said on Hump Day. So that's going to be kind of fun. Hump Day podcast.
We'll have to do something special for that.
Oh, we should. I'll see what local
Maybe
camels we have that could
I
be a
was gonna
guest
say
star.
maybe you should do the cheer, like the yell.
Home. No, I'm not gonna do it now, but
No, no, no.
maybe.
Back,
Maybe.
practice in the shower. That's what I do.
Yeah, no,
You
because
get
it always sounds so good in the shower. And funny thing about it, Mrs. Weatherwatch was I say was, is in my mind, but was like professional vocalist. So
seriously.
I enjoy singing to music. I'm bad, but in my head, I'm not terrible. But when I'm doing my thing and I look over and she's like, I'm like, okay, it's that
She's
bad.
adjusting the earplugs a little bit. Oh, there's
Oh,
keep it in. Just
no,
la
those are
la
cotton
la la.
balls. Yeah, those are cotton balls just going in. I'm like, oh, it's that bad. And so I always look for validation of, hey, as an average Joe, isn't it a little bit above average? And she's always like, I love
She's
you.
like, but you're cute.
Yeah, it's always one of those. I'm like, rump, it's no good. So, uh, but I love to sing, so I'll sing by myself. But I'll
Something
give a home
about
face shout.
in the shower. Something about the small room, the tile walls. You know, it just resonates. Like everybody sounds good when they sing in the shower. Maybe it's something about the water, but sort of the white noise that drowns out the wrong notes. But
100%. Judy M says, did you have great weather for the parade? What was that like? I know what
let's
your
see,
weather was, but I won't spoil it.
43 freaking degrees, and I was setting up I started setting up at 2:30, 3 o'clock. Started setting up, and I was ready probably half an hour before we needed to go live. And you know how they said, oh yeah, we've got a spot on the stage for you and everything. Yeah, no spot on the stage. I had to scrounge my own table. I had to bring my own extension cords and run them from all the way around back by the railroad tracks and across. It was nuts. It was crazy, but we made it happen. And then, and so because I'm not on the stage, I have to sort of create my own poles for cameras to be on, and so I'm using
Right.
like I've got an air rifle, right? It's like a pellet gun, and I have
At a parade?
telescoping like support for it, right?
Oh,
It's like a monopod, but for
yeah,
shooting with a pellet gun.
right.
So I brought that and I extended it out to the fullest height, and I velcroed it to the leg of my table and mounted my GoPro with a clamp up there. That was one of my
Genius.
and yeah, it was a little bit. It looked funny, but the end product you couldn't tell. I mean, it was really nice.
So speaking ad lib, we know you were in a rush getting home to
Mhm.
get on the podcast. And so there was going to be a few things in shambles and trying to make it happen. We could see you didn't make it to the studio. Where are you now? Are you by chance in the Airbnb?
I am. I'm in the Airbnb. I guess I could take you on a tour.
Which
I
everyone's
wish
been
it was.
waiting for.
I wish it was like completely clean. Like we've got a paint sprayer that we need to get rid of. But I'm standing. I guess if I stand right here, this is the front door. Okay, right here's the front door. It's got those little cool shutters, so you can
I
like.
love those blinds. Yes, I love those. The
I'm
internals.
probably gonna break them because I like playing with them up and down, up and down. But from the front door, you look in here and you've got a vacuum. Sorry, that has to go. Got my table where I've got all the computers that weren't working on the podcast today. Got a little
We-
kitchen.
we had a
We've got a
kitchen.
couple the cabinets. Like we have to. We've got to stain 2 of these, so we have paper down because we're gonna stain them. We've got like these cool, like the Lazy Susan that just turns the whole thing.
Yes,
That's
essential.
I love that.
I love the backsplash, by the way.
Oh, man.
I'm a big
It's
fan.
so good. This outlet was not there before.
That was
it
the failing non-GFI inspector outlet, correct?
and so this little wire up here, that's what we had to add to get legit,
Okay.
and well, that ladder needs to go as well. But this is the laundry room, washer, dryer, 50-gallon water heater, so you can shower all day long.
Watch your water bill go tick, 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 tick.
But that bed's not made. Sorry, I slept on that one. But the other one, we've got full-length mirrors, blackout curtains. All the bedrooms have little like nightstands with like little USB charger stuff in it, and the closet organizers, and is anybody in the bathroom?
Not me.
I hope they flushed. Oh no, but shower, it's all tile.
Oh, pretty tile work. I'm a fan of that too. Oh, and the oval mirror instead of just a standard. Oh,
Oh,
fantastic.
it barely fit. I mean, it barely fit in there. Funny story. I went and bought that mirror at Lowe's, and tried to check out, right. And sorry about the bed. It's a mess and some paint. It's almost done. Anyway, went to Lowe's, got the mirror, and trying to check out. I'm doing a self checkout, right? Because that's the thing you do now. There's nobody will help you.
No.
And so I'm doing the self checkout. I've got the scanner, and there's got to be like 10 different barcodes on this thing. So I'm like, ding beep, ding beep, ding beep, and it's like giving me error codes. And after like every 3 scans, the guy has to come over and like clear the error. Yeah. And so I've scanned. I'm going through one meticulously, every single barcode on every single side. Cannot work. And finally, the guy's like, "Here, just type in the code. I'll read you the numbers." So I type in the numbers. Sure enough, comes up, and it works great. I get home. It was a case of oval mirrors. It was not one oval mirror. I got a case of oval mirrors, and so got to go back to Lowe's with a mirror, the extra mirror, and say, "Look, I bought one, but it ended up being 2, but I didn't pay for 2, so here's a free mirror." And so that happens like over and over in my life. There's got to be something I need to learn from this, because it keeps happening. But
well, last time Walmart, when you did that with the mini iPads, you ended up with like
that worked out.
Yeah, that was a gas in the bank. But no, I think Lowe's, it looks awesome.
It's nice. It's come together quite well. We got this this is one of my favorites. We got this nice rug. It's like a gray rug. And we got the pad underneath it that just makes it super, super soft. And so it's like walking on a mattress. I mean, not that soft, but it's just like you don't want to step off of it.
Yeah, that's cool. I love it. Mrs. R.A.'s in chat says our partner was like, "Why?"
Yeah, our business partner was like, "No, I had some rugs that worked fine, and they were good, and they were free." But no, we went and spent more money to get a different rug. But this is, of all the things in here that I had a say in, the rug is pretty much the only one. Everything else was just like, well, we've made this decision. The walls are going to be yellow outside. That's it. I'm like, all right, yellow it is, and it looked good. And we made the decision. This is where the windows go. This is where the kitchen goes. I'm like, all right. And when it came to the rug, I'm like, I'm putting my foot down, and I'm getting the rug I want.
Putting your foot down on the rug.
But
given the history of your first date and home buying experience, which is self-admitted, I have to side with the other parties. I did have a question though. The other day on your live stream, you made mention that when you guys got approved, you legally stayed in the Airbnb for the night, to test it out. I didn't put it in your daytime live stream because I didn't want to cause controversy. But my question was going to be, was that with your partner or with Mrs. R.A.? Who stayed?
What do you mean? What do you mean? Oh, okay.
Because you stayed the night.
My partner will never sleep here. He lives close by. He's got his own house, his own Airbnb. If he wants to sleep in his, that's fine.
Okay.
He's just the business partner and the guy who knows how to build.
Gotcha. Okay.
So I slept in here because I want to get a feel for everything. And the only thing that I don't like right now is our water heater. It's got one of those little like blue tanks or whatever on. I don't even know what it does. It looks like a helium tank attached to the water.
Right.
Like twice a night, it will do this dunk noise. And I don't know why it's doing that. And it really bugs me because it wakes me up. And I'm like, if it wakes me up, it's going to wake somebody else up and they think, oh, somebody's in the Airbnb, and they're going to not like it. So I've got to figure that out. But
okay, fair. So Wayne Kent, great question. And the cat stays where? So in relation, we've seen pictures of your house and the Airbnb. Does the cat live in between, or does the cat?
The cat lives under my feet in between. So when I exit the house and try to get to the Airbnb, I step on it. I mean, I haven't squished it at all, but it will stand on my shoes and not think twice about it. Right now, as we went live, it was eating the last of Thanksgiving turkey. So it's eaten probably about 6 pounds of turkey. Good turkey breast, white, the good stuff.
The
And
lean stuff.
yeah, so it's all done with turkey meat.
Perfect disposal. So in regard to your hot water heater, greener, so is their expansion tank. So that's could be the expansion going kaplunk into that, which reminds me of things with custom cars. You have like when you build up things, you've got a little overflow for oil and whatnot. So it's probably a similar concept. If I had to guess, I don't know hot water heaters, but I feel like Greeners is onto something with that.
I've got it. Going back to the cat just for a minute, if I can. I
Yes.
think something is wrong with my cat. Now, and if you put two and two together, there was an incident where it took a tumble under a car, but seemed to be fine. But something is wrong with my cat now. Its
Oh,
eyesight far away is really good, but it doesn't know where its feet are, like in the moment. So it will go to jump up on the first step and only jump half as high as it should, and it will
so
in right into the step, and then it'll jump normally and it'll do fine. But it's that first little step, it will fall off the banister. It'll walk along and just like thump, just take a tumble.
So that's a common thing with cats. They can see, unless I have this backwards, but I'm pretty sure they can see very well from afar. But near side, they do struggle in general. So I do think that's a common thing. Although the car collision might have exacerbated that with your little guy, with Mr. Pickles. Because I have one, my cat Finn, who you've seen, he and Pickles look similar. They have little goofy eyes, but their coloring is kind of the same. And he's the same way. He'll sit in a windowsill and he sees the squirrel sitting out in the tree, but he'll whiff jumping up onto my desk. So, but I do think there's something wrong with him as well.
Let me see if I can find my cat real quick.
Yeah. Oh, if he can make a
Kiki, here, kitty. Here, kitty. Here, kitty.
While you call for Pickles, quick shout out, Ivan, member of 10 months to your channel. For all the doubters, check out my community tab. Ivan does have his own YouTube channel. If you hit !Rebel, it'll pop up. For all the doubters, check out my community tab for the cut mullet. He made a deal during the J Hatch trial, I believe. Man of his word. I'm sending. Oh yeah, send Bill kitty. Damages. So Ivan ended up cutting his mullet. Man of his word. And we've got a super chat from Cheryl C. Love your show. You guys are so fun. Thank you so much, Cheryl. Thank you. We don't think we're that fun, but we're glad that you and others do. So, as we see if Pickles,
I should have known better than to try to.
Oh,
Kiki's in the hot box. He's on the front porch in the hot box. So here's the thing: the cat has been fed. And so it no longer views me as anything worth acknowledging.
Yeah, that sounds like a cat.
It's loaded up on tryptophan, and is now on the heat pad in its little home, which was sent as a gift, which was really cool. But so that's where the kitty is.
You have fed the cat, so you are no longer the cat's human until.
Yes, I was very important up to like the moment I fed it, and then get out of the way. I'll eat and be done.
Now you're a nobody. That's typical cat. So it sounds like he's actually perfectly normal to me.
Well, that makes me feel better. I was worried that maybe something was wrong with him, with just tripping over his toes and falling off. He'll walk along the edge of our porch and just like fall off into the bush. Almost like the drunk dogs you see on TikTok, where the dog drinks the beer or whatever and tries to walk. He does that because he'll look at you and just like keep walking, but he would make a terrible driver.
That's fair. Oh, that's
what
right.
is your channel on YouTube? What I watch?
So Renee Marie, if you put in the search, if you put Weather Watch, or sorry, at Weather Watch TX, all one thing in the search bar, it should pull mine up and you'll see the lime green logo should be there as well. If not, there's a few people have already put in, chat's hopping by. Bug Dugger, if you do that, then it'll pull up. I can't pin it in StreamYard because that doesn't work, but the link will show up in YouTube and then you can click from there. And then Cachette says, commands aren't working, silly host. So you can't do that from the chat, but you can search the old fashioned way because we've got online last minute Cachette.
What did you say? Oh, Cachette. Oh, sorry. I thought you said cow.
Cow.
Didn't come through on my side. I'm like, Thomas, family show.
We had audio issues to begin with. So she says, but I got you. Real quick, what security measures do you have on the Airbnb?
It's all Wi-Fi connected. So we have my security monitoring onto my phone, onto my watch.
Cool.
Looking at some more cameras right now, but we've got like the most expensive door lock you can possibly get, right? So it's you've got a keypad entry, and the keypad, the codes are unique to each user and they only work for specific dates. And cool. I can see who logs in and when, and have a security cat. Yes. But,
who naps in the dark? I love it.
As long as it's hungry, it will guard well. But.
Guard or beg, one and the same. That's cool. So we know cameras are important. So that's going to throw us right into our first story for the night. After we are a half hour in, haven't gotten to a story yet. But so in New York, 3 gentlemen decide to rob a tobacco shop. Right? They run in, gunpoint.
What could go wrong?
What could
possibly go wrong?
Patrons, staff members, everyone, get on the ground. Give us your product. Give us your wallets. Open your cash register. Blah blah blah. Well, security surveillance captured one of the criminals was sagging his pants, so his briefs were hanging out and showing. They happened to be ultra colorful and had some logos.
Specialized. So, it was like custom briefs that you get on Etsy or something.
This is why you always change your underwear, because when the police posted the surveillance photos, several people on Instagram and whatnot had already been following this individual and reported him saying, we know who he is. Here's photos from his Instagram page with these exact
also showing this.
Mm-hmm.
Or, changing is good, but wearing someone else's underwear when you commit a crime might also be the solution.
That's gross, but yes. And then not to mention, he tried to sell some of the stolen merchandise to the same people.
The ones he stole it from?
Yes.
Oh, my goodness.
So what's funny, he turned up on some sort of surveillance system a year later with the same unique underwear, and cops nabbed him. Took him a year, but they got him on his underwear.
Still hadn't changed.
That's a long time for one pair of underwear.
The color was more bland by that time. It wasn't.
Yeah.
Oh,
used and abused. But yeah, exactly. So
I have to admit, I'm not a fan of the style, the saggy pants. First of all, just for practical reasons, if you're going to commit a crime, a belt is useful. A belt is useful. Yeah. That you're basically, it's like carrying a loose pair of handcuffs around your legs when you're running, because as soon as you start really getting into it and there's becomes some little vertical movement in your run, there's like sort of bouncing a step, pants go down to your knees or your ankles, and it's just like face plant from there.
Yeah, 100%. There's a great video out there of a guy who tries to rob like a jewelry store. He tries to jump the counter and he slips and falls and leaves his gun on the counter, and the lady just grabs the gun, points it back at him, and he goes to run and his pants fall down and he like trips into the front door and fall. It makes no sense. If I'm robbing a place, it's athletic shorts, it's a tank top, it's running shoes tied tight, and I'm in and out.
You ever see Thomas in a Speedo
no.
with his track shoes on? What is it?
I said
Yeah.
athletic
Oh,
shorts,
sorry.
not Speedo.
I heard you wrong. Sorry about that.
Yes.
Oh, man.
No Speedo. But yeah,
No.
change your britches. And if you committed a crime in clothing that's exposed, get rid of it. Get rid of it. It's gone. Don't
Yeah.
don't
Donate
represent
it. Donate it.
it. Yeah, to frame somebody else. Exactly.
Get somebody else to wear it. Maybe you'll get off the crime.
Right.
That's awful. That's
But a
awful.
year later, because of underwear, that's funny. He had to be. I wonder if the detective was like, "Underwear, bro," and he was like, "Oh man, sagging was cool."
It was cool for a while,
Yeah.
but going from dirty britches to dirty water, just for a minute. Um,
Ooh.
there's a couple in China, Beijing, China, that were having some health problems. They were getting sick, and they didn't know why, and they were having some trouble. Eventually, they ended up calling a plumber to see if there was something wrong with their pipes,
Mhm.
because their water wasn't up to par, so to speak.
Yeah.
Um, Plumber discovered that the previous owner had sort of done a DIY repair and had looped some things together that shouldn't be looped together, at least at that point in the fixture. And they were drinking toilet water. Yum.
For how
Six
long?
6 months of toilet water, and all
Oh,
the yummy flavors and tastes and sicknesses that come with that. Um,
oh my gosh.
check your pipes, people. Check your pipes. Change your underwear. Check your pipes. This is good advice
Six
for everybody. It could
six
happen to you.
6 months of toilet water and pulled in. And I actually, so I didn't
Do
read
you
the
know
whole thing, but I heard a snippet of this. So I heard he also didn't receive a water bill the whole time. So he kind of
that's
got
how he
curious.
found
So
it?
that's how he
That's
found.
how he
Okay.
found out there was a problem. He's like, I should be getting the bill, but apparently we're not using as much water as I think we are, because they were reusing in a big way, in a big way.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That 80s. I give up on this podcast. I don't blame the 80s. That's a bad one. That's oh
Just
man, that's
just to
tickling
be
my
safe,
comfort touch a
I've
little bit.
sworn off tap water. Yeah, I just it's going to be Deer Park and Mountain Dew for the rest of my life.
Hashtag not sponsored. Uh, that's great. Oh, that's so gross. We recently went to the whole like sparklets delivery, bring the bottled water, and actually, I was kind of against it. Like, oh, that's so spoiled. Tap water's fine, you could do it, but we gave it a try, and oh my goodness, since I did it, I hate our tap water. And we got the little dispenser that it goes in, that you plug into your
like
wall.
the like the office water cooler type.
Exactly, just like it. But it came with a little a K cup coffee dispenser at the top. So you put a K cup in, put it in, and then it has small, medium, large cup of coffee. It brews. I don't drink coffee, but Mrs. Weatherwatch does. So you just put the K cup right in that dispenser. It's got instant hot or instant cool. It's amazing. I was so against the whole thing, and
Does it
it's
make like a
now
5-gallon pot of coffee? I mean, is it
no,
convert
no,
the
no,
whole?
no, no. It's
Like,
the wa
that's
the
a
wa
lot
the
of coffee.
5-gallon water bottle's in there. Yeah. She drinks that much, I think, in a day.
Wow.
But no, it allows you to just pick small, medium, or large cup. The medium, from my experience, the medium cup produces a generic coffee mug cup full of coffee with a 2 splashes of creamer. That's what the medium-sized button will do. But it's fresh cup out of a K cup in 2 seconds. So it's
Wow.
basically a Keurig built into the dispenser. But for me, I drink these all day, just a big giant thing of ice cold water all day at my desk. And the water's also refrigerated in the thing. So when you it's anyways, I don't know why I'm
Tell,
going on this,
tell me
but
this:
it's awesome.
is the hot water like 1 degree below boiling?
Yeah, it's hot. Yeah. Every once in a while I'll do a cup of ramen
Mhm.
and I'll go down there. I say go down there because it's down in the house. My office is upstairs. And I will take my ramen and put it into the hot section and it's just instantly steaming. So my ramen is done in like a minute.
Yeah, you
It's
don't even
great.
need to microwave it. You just by the time you get back up to your office, it's ready to go.
Ready to go. Ready for a post lunch stream on RA. So it's been a good one. Let's be honest, whole time.
By a show of hands, I will
Okay.
tell you, Ivan has been a man of his word in everything I've heard so far. So I thought it would happen. I wasn't going to push him on it, but I thought it would happen. And apparently, there's pictures. Apparently, I have pictures. Oh, good thing I put the lid on that because that would have been bad. Okay.
Mind the laptop, says Katrina.
Yes.
I would never ever think that Ivan would go back on his word on something like that. I think he would hold true, no matter how many timeouts he has. I think 100% he would. He definitely would go through with it. I never would have doubted that.
We've got pictures on the floor of trimmed locks.
Well, that doesn't count because we don't know where that hair came from.
And then
and then we got the selfie.
Yep. Oops.
But that doesn't show the back of the head. The mullet could be in a.
Oh, you can see. Yeah, you can see. It's.
I'm teasing.
It's clean. It's almost a military cut. The top's a little bit longer, but it's almost a military cut. Looks good.
Maybe
good. Although your saggy pants are showing the colorful brief boxer.
Oh,
just kidding.
Your britches are going to give the police a go ahead on it. We don't need to send the police.
Ivan, that's awesome. That's really cool. Man of his word.
Yep, man of his word. We've got a lot of that. Looks awesome. That looks good. Did you leave? M. Young says, did you leave a rat tail? No, we know Ivan didn't leave a rat. I don't think he did. I don't think he would. But did or were you able, Ivan, in chat, to donate any of that? Was it long enough? Was it enough? I don't know how that works. I don't know.
Locks for love. I think it needs like 11 inches.
Okay, so it needs more.
1.5 with the mullet, I think.
Gotcha. I figured it wasn't so a little bit, but man of his word, I like it. And hey, 'tis the season, making others happy, fulfilling bets. But so jumping ahead, you had the Christmas parade today on your live stream. You also showed your house being decorated along with your neighbor's house and their decorations. 'Tis the season.
They over decorated, just for the record. That is too much.
I don't know if they watch the show or not. Apologies if they do. I am not a big inflatables fan because in the daytime, when the timer goes off, you've got a pile of, material just laying in the yard, which I don't love as a yard guy.
Oh no, 24/7. 24/7. The party never stops at their house.
Good. So they won't hate on my opinion that they keep it up. But so, by the way, for the record, so many in chat said they loved your house because it was just so classy. It was done so well. And I agree with that. You can overdo things or you can do it just
banning anyone who said otherwise. So
But exactly. It's melted snowmen or Santas and elves or whatever in the yard. It looks like, and you can't tell what they are. But so anyways, yours is very well done and it complements your home very well. I think it's classy. So we love decorations. We're still adding some and we're still going. It's just our time of the season. But my plan for the podcast, December 1st, tomorrow, we're on our way towards Christmas. We do this once a week. So we do a top 3 all the time. Sorry for those. And if you don't celebrate Christmas, we understand. Please don't be offended. If you do celebrate Christmas, but you hate talking about it all the time or decorating, sorry. Each week, we're going to do a top 3 until we get to Christmas. That is Christmas affiliated. Okay. So this week is top 3 Christmas themed movies. That's what I want to go with this week. I know it's kind of a tough one on the whim. Nana223, I highlighted the wrong comment. I meant to do this one. I am in Texas, just to answer that question.
I'm not.
He is not. So there's so many good ones if you've seen them. Mine, I can go first with 1 or 2 if you need some time to think on it.
I was going to say, I know one thing that will not be on anywhere on my list, and that's that Christmas shoe song, the Christmas shoes. Oh my goodness!
Or movie.
I've got to tell you this. it's a Christmas song, and you find it. They play it on the radio like every other song during the Christmas season, and it's some story about a kid who like is poor and wants to go buy his mom's shoes so she can die, and
Is
meets.
this a song or a
Yeah,
movie?
it's a song. It's like if Shakespeare wrote a tragedy Christmas song, that's what it was. That's what it
We're
is, and
going
it's awful. It's like,
we're we're going top 3 movies. Why are you
oh,
going on a
sorry,
song that you
sorry.
we're top 3
In my
movies.
head, when I hear the song, I see the movie. That's
We're going Oh, he's gone. He's out. We'll see him tomorrow. All right, I'll give you a second
all
to
right. All right. Movies. Reset. Regroup.
Yeah. Uh,
Movies.
there's so many, and mine aren't going to be all. I'm going to go Cachette. That's a great one. Polar Express. And I actually that could really wiggle into my top 3, but I kind of thought about them earlier, and I went off what I do. But one of them is Elf with Will Ferrell. Buddy the Elf, what's your favorite color? It's just because it's a comedy mixed in with. We can duplicate too, because I just saw your face. Go, dang it! But guilty. You've got a lifeline. Post it on screen if you need help.
Die Hard. I've never watched it.
Oh, we clicked it at the same time.
I've never watched it.
You go,
Judy. He won't let me click it, Judy. I'm trying. And I've never watched it, but I've heard it has like Christmas songs in it, like Christmas, like it. The filming of it takes place during the holiday season. I'm not a big movie guy, honestly. And honestly, listen, when movie sounds a lot like song when you say the words quickly. I just want to get this out there.
You just picked a top 3 movie and said, I've never seen it.
Yeah.
This is not what I anticipated.
Okay,
Please see the screen.
gonna glue his mullet back on now. Okay. It's been a rough day, guys. Give me a minute. Movies, Christmas movies. How about
We're almost the same age? You've
Charlie
been
Brown?
forced.
Charlie Brown.
Great one. Great one. Good job. Low hanging fruit. Well done. Well picked.
What's another Christmas movie?
Oh my gosh, folks, he really doesn't celebrate. So another one of mine is oh, now I already forget. It's oh, dadgummit.
Oh, I got it first. Wait, before you use it, because I know you're going to take it. I know you're going to do this one. It's a Christmas story.
What?
You'll shoot your eye out with Ralphie.
Yeah,
I knew that.
100%.
I could see. Yes, that's with the leg lamp.
The leg lamp. Yes, it's a great one.
The tongue on
the pole.
That part, yes.
Such a good movie.
Screenshot that. Whoever I saw some of you take screenshots. Yeah.
100%.
Tayo Toys, I saw you. Okay. And now you can go. You can go.
All right. So another good one that I like. It's there's so many good ones, but it's gosh, was it early 2000s or late 90s? I think it was early 2000s. I forget. But Santa Claus, Tim Allen, when he becomes Santa Claus and his son actually finds out that in his off hours Tim Allen is Santa, and people don't really believe him. And also, it's such a good one. And
the one where he finds the card and he reads the Santa Claus on it because he like scared Santa off the roof and he died, and so he becomes Santa. Is that the one?
I believe so. And he's going through a divorce, so everyone like thinks he's crazy, but he's not, and the son believes. And then at the end of the movie, the awkward new husband and the ex-wife, they finally see it and get it, and he's friends with Rudolph and all that good stuff. It's just that one's really fun. I like that one. There are so many more, like Cachette said, Polar Express, which is that one's really good. I'm a fan of anything Tom Hanks is in. I'm a fan. Anything. I think he does a killer job, or did. Um, but yeah,
Is that your second or your third?
That was my third because I did Elf, and then we both
Okay.
agreed on Christmas Story, and then I just did Santa Claus. So here you
Okay.
go. Throw you a bone. Mrs.
I've
Ari's
got
got
one
you.
more. I've got one more. This is going way back to when I was just a wee kid, a wee tot. Gremlins.
Never seen it.
What?
Don't even think
The
I heard.
little packages. You don't expose them to bright light. You never had water. You know the little cute little like mini Ewoks that turn into these, like a Venus flytrap animal.
That does not sound like Christmas. Is it
Gremlins.
a Halloween movie
No, they were little Christmas presents or something, right?
that attack
Chat,
people?
chat, back me up on this. Gremlins is a Christmas movie, right? I thought it started with like Christmas gifts.
That's is that how you take care of the cat? Yeah, no, you've got people saying, all right, people saying they're good to go. Okay, I'm going to check it out. I need to learn some more.
1984.
Please see your wife's comment.
1984. Where?
I got it. Oh, for the love of Scott, cannot choose Christmas movies.
I can't choose movies and I can't choose houses.
Not anymore. Cut off.
It's funny because we go on dates. Sorry, Miss Zuri, I'm going to out us. Sometimes we go on a little date. It's stay home. It's like, hey, should we watch a movie? It's like, and we whether we've got Netflix or Amazon Prime or something like that. It's like, sure, let's see what's out there. And one of us gets to pick, right? And we suck. I say we, but I suck at choosing movies. I'll choose one. I'm like, well, that one looks good. The cover looks good. Sometimes we'll even watch the preview and like, hey, yeah. And it turns out that's the only good parts in the movie were the preview. And so we're like 10 minutes in and she's like, this is your choice.
Yeah. Small reminder.
I didn't want it. So, I do suck at choosing movies. But Gremlins is a good one.
I'm going to check it out. I've never seen it.
Right up there. It's like with E.T. Like E.T. and Gremlins. For me, that's like in the same time period. You've seen E.T., right? That's probably not a Christmas movie either, but.
No, I've seen E.T. I was like 4 years old, but I've seen it. So I won't. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. We're not that far apart. I'm totally teasing. Don't put your logo on screen again. Just kidding. But so okay, we've nailed it down. We've got them. Chat's flying off of suggestions, which I love because there's going to be some movies people haven't heard of, so it might give them some ideas. So
did anyone say Nightmare Before Christmas?
Yeah, there was a handful in there, and that was gonna be one of mine, but it's been a while since I've seen it, and I like the other ones that I picked, but that one was a heavy hitter for a lot of people. And yes, chat put that in there as well as some other movies that I haven't seen before. And here's another one, Love Actually. I remember that one was pretty good.
Home Alone.
Home Alone's classic. I mean, everyone, whether they love it or not, it's
keep the change, you filthy animal.
Yeah, it's good. So again, next week we're going to do a top 3 Christmas. Not going to spoil it, but it's going to have to be choices. We're going to do it the next few weeks leading up to Christmas. So
it can't be movies again. You have to do songs at some point because I can't think of movies.
It won't be movies, I promise. It'll be different as we go. So I already have next week's in mind. And that's the fun part of putting this together. I already have next week's in mind and selected for me. And I don't give you a heads up until like an hour before the show. So it makes it so much fun for me to do.
Sometimes an hour before the show, we don't even know if we have a show.
So. This is fact.
Oh, man.
So Christmas themes, Christmas, fun season, good for family, food, this and that. But Christmas, let's be honest, outside of what people celebrate Christmas for and its true meaning, whether they celebrate it or not, kids love Christmas. There's gifts and there's
new toys. Kids love toys. They love trying things out. For my kids, my younger kids always wish they got the presents the older kids got. Right. So,
Fair.
So when my oldest kid got an iPad for Christmas, my very youngest kid, and my oldest was like 20 before we gave him an iPad. Right. So my youngest was like, "Where's my iPad?" We're like, well, you're not ready for that yet. Right.
Right.
But they always wish that they could do what the older kids do. And it's like, you don't realize that there were all these years, decades even, where they didn't get what you want right now.
Right. Okay?
look at like when you're driving, right? You're 16 years old in most states before you can drive. I think you're like 15 and a half in North Carolina. They got some weird law where you can start early if you promise to be good or something. I don't know what the rule is, but
Permit with a parent type thing.
yeah, if you only drive during the daytime with family, or unless you're going to school, and then you can have like 3 friends. If there's whoever wrote the law was like drunk and they like picked things out of the hat and they mixed it all together and said this will be the law. But anyway, that's not what I wanted to talk about. Um, my younger kids are jealous that the older kids get to do things. Like the older kids get to ride the riding lawnmower, and the youngest one's like, well, I want to do it. It's like, well, I let him, but it's not safe, right?
Right.
The 6-year-old on the riding lawnmower, it's a risk, so I have to watch it. But
and might not be able to keep the seat safety down to keep the mower going at 6, right?
he's figured out how to do it. He like because my lawnmower has the seat safety, because it's like one of those little John Deere cheapo, the smallest John Deere you can buy. It's not really a John Deere, it's like a Briggs and Stratton, but you have to put your hand on the seat and push with your hand while you're like holding the steering wheel, and then standing on the side to push the brake all the way down, and then with your elbow you're like turning the key, and you can start the thing up, and then you can jump in the seat before it has time to die, and it's good to go. But he's the one that wants to drive more than anything.
Sounds like he's about to steal something so we can get going.
Of all my kids, if I were to expect a call from the police saying, we caught your kid on such and such a road in someone else's vehicle, I think it would be him, because he's got this streak in him. Speaking of which, some of you might have seen this. Somebody did get one of these calls. We presume, Timmy Deer. No Timmys yet. No Timmys. We presume somebody got the call because the police responded to a chase a while back, not too far. I think it was in the last week or two. Police chase where there was a forklift that had been stolen. And you think forklift, you think like a little yellow cat with a little, like in an Amazon warehouse. No, we're talking construction, big blue, high-rise lift, the
like
full extension. The
Okay.
boom, yeah, the big tires, like the 6-foot tall tires that can roll over cars just fine. One of those was stolen, and turns out it was a 12-year-old boy who stole it.
That a boy.
Parents probably said something else. Parents were like, "Nah, we're not a big fan." Chase lasted over an hour. There's dash cam video over an hour of this kid, and these things are not small, right? So he's going into residential neighborhoods. He's going down the roads, and he's like clipping every car. It's just like, I forgot 20, 25 cars that he clipped, like just broke the mirrors off or just rode right down the side, the full panel from the back quarter to the front quarter. Occasionally he even hit it and like pop up in the air, because those forklifts have no shocks. They're like rock solid. The police
don't they have steering in the rear so they can turn sharp too, which would make it hard when you're on the run, I think.
It did have some quick steering. I haven't driven one like that. I've only driven the smaller forklifts, but
I think they steer in the rear, those bigger ones, so they can get in and out of tighter spaces and whatnot. I think. I don't know. I haven't seen the video of this, but I'd venture to say, and it makes it harder to steer if you're trying to take off and run, because it's real sensitive that way. 25 some odd cars he hit.
They were worried because he had the forks, and he was like, there were cars like, get out of the way. He could like spear you with the forks on this thing.
Oh no.
And I think it was only 10, but it seemed like 25. But we'll have to. Well, I might show the video on the channel maybe this next week if we get a little downtime. But
that'd be cool.
You're running red lights and just cruising through, up on the curb, on the sidewalk. Pretty impressive. He stole it from his school. Like there was construction going on the school.
That's kind of funny.
And he climbs up in there, and a lot of companies do this. It's crazy, but they'll hide the key like in the toolbox or under the seat or something, because you need the key, and if you forget the key when you get to the job site, you have to go all the way back home and get the key. They just stash the key in the forklift. Well, he found the stash, and he went for a spin.
Talk about learning a lesson at school. That's crazy.
He's gonna be my kid in like a year.
Oh, condolences. But make sure Make sure you film it so you can show us. You get a lot of views on stuff like that. Oh, live stream it if you can. Get a GPS monitor so when there's motion, it goes
I've
live.
got 3 live cameras from inside the vehicle that's being chased. I think they're going to say that I'm in on it at that point.
Yeah, true. It's set up.
Plausible deniability sort of is out the window at that point.
Right. So, high speed. Well, that's not high speed chase. That's a chase. But when you talk about chases, typically we think high speed, highways, freeways, road, streets. So, not everyone in chat has seen these, but a lot have. You know, there's the big amber digital signs on highways that'll like buckle up for your safety, or like don't text and drive, right? As you're commuting from city to city, they put up state highways will put up these big messages on these signs, right? You've seen them, haven't you?
I've seen like the ones that say like 6 people died this weekend texting or something like that. They like put like morbid reminders to drive safely.
Yeah, they're phenomenal. So, but
So I almost crashed into a car reading the sign. So,
I think the same thing. Oh my gosh, I told Mrs. Weatherwatch that because our coming in and out of our city, they have them as well. And it'll read off a stat, or it'll a semi funny message or something, and I get it the reminders. But I've told her that I said I've been like I missed half the message because it blinked, and so I'm looking at it waiting for the next one to come through, and then I think, wow, I was just staring at that for about 3 seconds while I'm driving 80 miles an hour down our highway. I could have wrecked. Apparently, New Jersey is really good at or they're known for making creative ones.
mhm.
So yeah, Kenny says Amber Alerts as well. Yep. They'll flash and say XYZ license plate, white Chevy, blah, blah, blah. Look out for it. That then they're good for that as well.
The worst is when they have like 3 pages of information. You like I looked up late. I was on page 3 when it started. Now it's cycled. Unless I slam on the brakes now, I'm not going to ever see page 2.
Toast.
So yeah, they're a road hazard. But go ahead, New Jersey. Tell me about New Jersey.
I agree, they're a hazard. But so New Jersey apparently is pretty well known for creating unique sign messages. And a lot of states will, and there have been memes out there and posts online. So for those that are aware of these signs, it's nothing completely new to be funny, but they have a plethora, especially near the holidays. So I found an article that people grabbed some screen grabs as they were driving by, and they posted these. So I'm going to go through a few of the messages that they posted that are kind of holiday related. One is pretty funny. It says, reckless drivers are worse than fruitcake, because no one likes fruitcake. And they get creative, and they get a little out there. They kind of stretch the limits of what people may or may not laugh at. Like the next one being, only Rudolph should be lit. Drive high, get a DUI. I mean, they're posting this stuff for the public to see. And then some classics like Santa's watching, put the phone down, which is good. And then ho ho ho, please drive slow. So whoever's behind it, it's good. And then don't be a Grinch, just let them merge. Which is so true. It's so true, because people try to edge people out of a merge lane and get all, you're not coming in here, you get behind me. And then we'll be blunt, don't drive high.
Blunt. I like that one. That was good.
This one's my favorite. Get your head out of your apps. Because they're in apps.
That's a double take sign. That's like a what?
100%.
Because your brain likes to complete sentences. What you think it's going to do. And,
right. Absolutely. That one's my favorite because it's so true. You're just in there.
I drove by a small town probably when I first got my license. It was out west. I think it's in like Wyoming or something. And it says, drive slow, CR city, drive fast, CR jail. And that was really cool. The only other thing that was really interesting about that city is the sign as you drive into town. It said welcome on both sides. It was that small. They had one sign. It's welcome, and that's it. And then you're gone.
I love that. They should do welcome on one side. So as soon as you pass it, you need to look in your rear view. It says goodbye. As you go, and it's right at city center. Um, well, we've got just a couple more, and some of
Okay.
these hit hard to home too, because I can swear the town I live in now, although I've been here more than half my life, I wasn't born here. The worst drivers in the country live in this town. And no one in this town watches the show, so I'm okay with doing this, but they're so bad. So
Hey,
things like big old amber sign on the highway. I would love to post this if I was in control. Hey, nice car. Did it come with a turn signal? That's on the sign in New Jersey. They put it up there. I love it. Uh, incredible. And then we've got a few. Don't sandwich and drive. That was posted pre-Thanksgiving. And then it's time for pumpkin spice and driving nice. Things like that.
that's
I,
I've seen a couple in chat as well that are pretty interesting. Anne has one: drive hammered, get nailed.
that's a great one.
That's a sign.
The majority are like click it and ticket, right? And just the
Yeah.
basics. But when they get creative, it's so funny. So yeah, red pen. Uh I can't argue that. I really can't. Although, so I live in a smaller town now. When I lived in North Dallas, they were better. Now this town is a town of 100,000 or so, but there's nothing surrounding it, and it's the worst. It's the most dangerous drivers I've ever seen in my life. It petrifies me to go head out on town during the lunch hour. Someone's going to kill me. So, but the
Um,
funny signs are, I love that. Obviously, those are run by government, right? The fact that there's some leeway and they're allowed to do that, I love that concept. I think that's so cool that it's just not a blah humbug sign all the time.
Talking about that leeway, some of those signs, you talk about the permanent, message signs. They're also temporary message signs. The cool thing about those is those signs, they have everything they need. They're sort of self-contained. They have a little computer and a little sign, and sometimes the box with the computer and the keyboard is not locked.
All your
So
devious stories come out on the podcast.
an enterprising youth may sneak over and open the box at night and edit the message, because basically all the signs are basically saying the same thing. To one extent or another, they're saying watch out, right? Be careful, be on the lookout. And so I don't feel bad, or I wouldn't feel bad if someone else, I should say, because I think the statute of limitations hasn't run out. If someone changed the message to say, warning, zombies ahead, or something something similar, because it has the same effect. People will see the sign, they'll slow down, they'll get a chuckle, it will stick with them, and maybe put some other words on there as well. I don't want to be too specific in case somebody recalls a specific event.
You always out yourself on the podcast, but the people love it. And it'll be brought up in the morning when you get there. Kathy said I must be in Rockwall. I'm not. My in-laws are in Rockwall, actually, but I am in Wichita Falls. But they're bad everywhere. It's crazy. Pickle says, I'm glad I don't drive. Greener says, keep this story hypothetical. He outs himself too soon, too quickly every single time. One of the things I learned from us.
I don't share these stories because I don't want my kids to do what I did growing up. And if you talk to like my siblings, my parents, my siblings, they have the impression that I was like a complete rebel, wild kid, sneaking out every night, getting into all the mischief I possibly could. And I was like, maybe 3 times I snuck out. And I think I got caught all 3 times.
Perfect.
But I think that was the only 3 times they tried to catch me. So they were under the impression that I was always doing it.
So yeah, Mrs. R8, all the things she learns on the podcast. And well, I feel guilty by association. When we do our post show wrap ups, and I feel like I'm always in trouble when we're talking about things because we do this show together. I had no bearing on his choices pre-podcast. I promise. But, yeah,
Kenny.
Kenny, that's solid. That's
That's a
great.
great one.
I was
Oh,
thinking
man.
today, people are hitting the commands, and when he says, "Hey, Judge, when are we going to lunch, Judge?"
Yeah.
It reminds me of like an elf talking to Santa. The way his voice is tuned and toned in the question. So anytime people hit it in there, I was cracking up. I was laughing. I couldn't watch chat. The soundbite is so great. It's so
Speaking of speaking of Santa, did you know Santa got a new sleigh?
no.
Got a new sleigh. Do you know how much it cost him?
Oh, I want to know this one, but I don't.
Nothing. It was on the house.
Oh, that's fair. But did you know where Santa stores his suit?
Like in the closet.
In his claws.
Closet.
Claws.
Nice.
So we need to highlight this so people understand what's happening.
No. No warning whatsoever. Just throw them in on the deep end.
No, I want a waiver because
I realize now is the Christmas season, but when it's not the Christmas season, do you know what? Why Santa Claus likes gardening so much?
no.
I don't either. He's always out there. Ho ho ho!
Oh no, we're gonna get in so much trouble in this chat again. Viewers continue to drop every time. Oh. But so you know why you never lend money to elves, right?
No, why?
Wow, they're always short.
But you know what they learn at school? Those elves? The alphabet.
Oh, that's a good one. I love it too. And then you know why you I can't even say it with a straight. Why you never trust snowmen?
Mm. They don't stick around long. Why?
They're always up to snow good.
Okay. What do you call a snowman with a six-pack?
I don't know. Wisconsin winter? I don't know.
The abdominal snowman.
Oh, why didn't I know that? I like that one. I like that one. What's a sheep's 80s? It's a sheep's favorite Christmas song?
I don't know. What?
Feliz Navidad. These are so bad. All right, one more each, and then we got to spare the people. So that way you actually have an audience tomorrow.
The fleece one was pretty bad.
It was very
we can't end on that one.
All right. Which one of Santa's reindeer has the best moves?
Dancer.
Bam! Got it.
Boom. Right. What? Where do the reindeer stop for coffee?
Oh. I feel like someone in chat's gonna get this one.
Not before I tell you. Starbucks. Starbucks. That's it. Oh man. Thomas. Where did Santa get all his money?
In his closet.
In the snowbank.
Oh. That must be why you heard about the angry snowman.
No, what happened?
He had a meltdown. All right, we got to wrap this up before we kill the audience. We put them through it now. Well, Scott, thanks for everything you did. Live streaming today for us for our entertainment and our viewing pleasure. You raced out, helped your community and a friend, and then you raced home to the Airbnb and put together what you could to be online for the people. And those of that don't know, you've just seen him online in the Airbnb. There was no volume. You couldn't hear him. He was running around, grabbing microphones, adjusting stuff so he could be heard
So
and be here
what
until
he's
the
saying
final.
is situation normal. It's just like every other week.
So he does a whole lot to be here and be live and be heard and do the show. And he could easily say, let's put it off and let's move it. And he never, ever, ever does.
Yeah,
So
I
Scott,
almost texted
thank
you, but I could not find my phone. No, it
Christ.
was. I just Thomas, you're incredible. You put this whole show together yourself, and just filled me in literally 5 minutes before the show. Gave me the rundown. Said I've done all the work. Here it is. And
Minus the dad jokes.
all I can say is, what do you call a snowman that can walk?
I don't know.
Snowmobile.
Oh, okay. I love it. Oh, the poor crowd. They're going to get them for the next 3-4 weeks till we get home.
We'll
And then
save
it's
some
on
for
to
next week as well.
and then it's on to New Year's dad jokes. But thank you everyone for tuning in. Quick reminder again, next week was some conflict. So it's going to be Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern time. We'll have our podcast. But again, when RA goes live, panic button, your music button. You're gone. But it's okay. I can get it from I'll grab it from here real quick if we can. So just typical standard he's leaving. But thank everyone for being here, tuning in on this evening, and bearing with us for a delay with our schedules. But nonetheless, now he's playing with the music. So, again, I'm pretty sure Scott's going to be live at least 9 a.m. Eastern tomorrow. So if not 8 o'clock Central, and he's gone off the rocker. So I hope everyone have a great evening, and thanks again for tuning in.